Chris Haynes, Bleacher Report, NBA insider, and sideline reporter for the NBA on TNT. He was there in Milwaukee last night covering the 76ers and the Bucks, but James Harden wasn't there. Chris Haynes joins us now. Why wasn't James Harden there?
Yeah, it was weird. It was really a strange situation. He showed up on Wednesday for practice. You know, he was away from the team for 10 days. It was an excused absence, but they did not think he was coming back at that time. So they caught him by surprise. And he went into practice, and a team official came up to him and said it would probably be best if he stayed back and got help and got work at the practice facility. And James Harden, as I was told, interpreted that as a suggestion. So he went through practice still with the mind of traveling to Milwaukee for the season opener. And so after practice, he goes to the airport, and then he stopped by a team security official and told him he's not permitted to get on the plane. And so James is all up in arms, like, what's going on? You know, and so General Manager Elton Brand, head coach Nick Nurse, they come over to him. This is at the airport. And they explain to him how they need him to stay back at the facility. And so they can track his progress, his speed, his measurables, because he's been away for so long. So James is still irate at this point, but he calms down and he leaves without further incident. And Harden's camp is of the belief that they didn't want him around for a potential distraction, having to answer James Harden related questions on game day. And, so he did show up at the facility yesterday to get his work in, I was told. But DP, I don't know what's going to happen from here. This is a situation that I don't think is not cooling off anytime soon.
Yeah, but didn't he have a rigorous off-season workout in Colorado, and he had people, trainers there, and a chef? I mean, he was ready to go working out at high altitude.
You read my story, DP.
Yes, I did.
You got good job, DP. Yes, he's in good shape, and that's why the NBA is getting involved too, because we have this new star protocol where if a player is injured, so-called injured, he still has to be at the game and be present, visibly present for fans to see. And the Sixers so I'm just telling you both sides here. Don't shoot the messenger. So the Sixers are like, well, we don't know if he's injured because he hasn't been around the team for 10 days. So we want to track his measurables, his speed, to make sure his body is right. James is saying, I'm good. I'm coming in the best shape of my life. I'm good. I came ready to be reacclimated with my team. So the NBA's jumped in and they're investigating this situation. So it'll be very interesting to see what comes out of that.
As far as the game, what does Milwaukee look like, or how different are they with Dame in there and not Drew Holiday?
The difference is they have a closer. And Giannis told me in our I had a sit-down interview with them that aired on TNT last night with Dame and Giannis. And Giannis told me it was Dame's team. And when he said that, I don't know that I dismissed it, but I just took it as, this is Giannis trying to make Dame as comfortable as possible. But if you saw in that fourth quarter, Giannis was really deferring to Dame.
Yeah.
Like Dame said, it was at one point where they were kind of trying to figure out who was going to bring the ball up. He said Giannis brought the ball up, and then he was trying to figure out should he come over and get the ball. And Giannis signaled to him, come get it. And that's when Dame knew, like, okay, he wants me to, do my Dame time. And, 14 points for Dame in that final 5 minutes of the ball game, and the rest is history. So that is what they get in Dame. Obviously, defensively, Drew Holiday is one of the best defenders in the league, and he causes havoc on that end. But this is what they needed, especially, we all know Giannis is one of the best in the league, arguably the best player in the league. But teams, the Bucks, had problems during the closing of games. Giannis is not a good free throw shooter. Teams tend to build a wall around him. So there was problems down the stretch. But with Dame, they got somebody they can go to who's not afraid of those moments. And, if he's fouled, he can hit free throws. So it looks like a really good partnership between those two. And it's really rare. Giannis told me that when they first had their first meeting together after Dame was traded, he told Dame, I want you to come in and be the closer. And it's rare for a player of that caliber to say, hey, I want you to have the ball at the most important time of the game. That really just shows how much Giannis really wants to win.
He's Chris Haynes, Bleacher Report NBA insider, was working the sideline last night for TNT, the 76ers and the Bucks. We saw this with Dwayne Wade when LeBron came to Miami. LeBron has been trying to at least publicly give the Lakers to AD, and so I'm not surprised that Giannis is saying to Dame, hey, this is your team. But Giannis's role now, how does that change?
I don't think it changes much. He's still going to be himself. He's still going to be his dominant force. I don't think it changes. I think the only thing that changes in probably the last 6 minutes of a game is I don't want to say deferring, but he knows that he has, how should I say it? He has a he has a dog that he can rely on at that juncture in the game. There's definitely going to be times. I'm not going to say Giannis is not a closer or anything like that, but just know that you got that escape valve, on the scene, and Damian Lillard, it just allows a little bit more freedom for Giannis to roam and do his thing. So I don't think it changes much on his end, but just know you have the luxury of having a guy like that that's not going to fold in those moments, and not just fold, he's going to blossom. That's a luxury. That's a luxury to have. And so, but look, again, DP, Chris Middleton, he hasn't gotten to play the normal minutes that he will play. I spoke to him last night. He said he thinks it's going to take about 6-7 games before you start seeing his minutes become what they are. So this team has a lot of room to grow, but definitely first game, you saw how it's going to play out. Dame is going to be that guy down the stretch.
Best team in California this year is who?
Oh, golly. Ooh, that's a tough one. Oh, man. That is a tough one. I'm going to have to go with I'm going to have to go, oh, Lord. Mike Brown's gonna kill me over there. I live in Sacramento, DP. I gotta deal with the Kings fans. I will have to go. I'll go with the Lakers. I'll go with the Lakers right now. I don't feel confident about that. I go with the Lakers right now. The Warriors for sure. A few years removed from a championship. Warriors or Lakers, that's who I'm kind of going back and forth on, DP.
What are your expectations for Wembanyama? What would be a good to great rookie season for him?
Hey, I was talking to somebody about that the other day. A good to great rookie season. First of all, I think he's going to average damn near 20 points, probably more than 20 points. Probably get you about 7 boards a game. But on the defensive end, I think that's where he's going to be a killer from day one. He might average 3 blocks a game, playing 27 minutes a game, something along those lines, maybe even less. I don't know what Pop has up his scheme as far as his minute distribution for him year one. But I was telling somebody, at worst, for Wembanyama's career, at worst, he's a multi-time defensive player of the year guy. At worst. Now, that is with him being healthy. But the skill set he has, all of the skill sets to be something really special. I think, again, hoping for good health for everybody. But for him, I think it's a runaway rookie of the year. I think he's a runaway rookie of the year award already, just with what he has defensively. Scoring is going to come. I haven't seen anything like it. DP, I remember NBA 2K is the game now that kids play.
Yeah.
It's the big NBA game. But back in my day coming up, it was NBA Live. It was NBA Live before it became NBA 2K. And I remember, I don't remember if it was the late 90s. It might have been late mid 90s. NBA Live started to allow you to create your own player. So I'm like, yes, I could finally be in the NBA. Like, I'm creating my own player. But when you create you don't really create you. You create the version of you that you want to be. And so the version of me really, I mentioned that because lighting is always
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course,
DP.
Yeah, dark brother lighting. Yes, absolutely.
It's tough for me in these hotels, but I do it for you, DP. I do it for you. But I would create myself, and I would just look so long, and it would look so crazy on the screen, like having this 7'4" guy dribbling and shooting threes, and that's what I see when I see Victor. I see myself. I see the 7'4" version of NBA Live, and it's crazy to see. We've always think we've seen a unicorn. We always call these players unicorn. That is a unicorn.
Safe travels. Always great to catch up with you. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Chris.
Appreciate you, DP. Take care, brother.
Chris Haynes, Bleacher Reporter, NBA Insider, and Sideline Reporter, NBA on TNT. Also has a podcast. It's called #ThisLeagueUncut. Chris Haynes and Mark Stein, wherever you get your podcast. Take a break.